Well, before the top of the hour, give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime game. And that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's deliver live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And deliver those winners at professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Play. So let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, with us, it's Mitch in today in for today. We also have Brad Francis, Rod Zawacky. We'll also have a visit here from Jovan and, of course, David Racey. And here's how they'll line up for this evening. We've got Racey, Francis, Burts, Zawacky. Then I will close this one out. And Mitch will lead us off here today in a fill-in role. All right, guys, we have on the board today Major League Baseball. Final in already is the Guardians with a 6-0 win. Got action on the ice. Full Major League Baseball card as well. Games beginning at this hour, so let's get the show underway. Well, welcome in, Mitch. You'll catch them over at Pick Dogs Premium. Catch them in the mornings here every day here on the channel. And, of course, during the week, it's 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. As we have a little break from the NBA tonight, but we're at it again tomorrow. So playing round ready to start here. And we'll bring Mitch in here in just a second here. Let me see. I went a little too far on my box here. We'll bring him here in just a second. Mitch, what's happening?
Nothing much, Tony. Just stepping in here. Tony sends out a sheet to all the people that are on the show. All the Pick Dogs handicappers also get a copy of it. And I saw there was quite a few openings, so I just figured I'll step in. I know it's a fairly light card with just Major League Baseball, but that's the way the summers are here, so we might as well get used to it. So, yeah. I'm only on the show one day a week these days, so I figured why not?
Absolutely. Appreciate having Mitch here on Monday. And, of course, we'll look at this one tonight. Competitive line price here with the Orioles and Twins. Orioles $1.25, total sits at 9.
Yeah, there's a few things going on here. And, hopefully you guys caught the morning show today. I gave out the Guardians minus a run and a half. We did the reverse run line. That's my style. It's my game. I don't apologize for it. My goal is to go 50% and, rack up the units doing so with big value. And I think we've got value here with the Twins as well against the Orioles, who have been getting a little battered early this season. I know they did win yesterday with Corbin Burns, but man, did they get pushed to the limit in that game. And, when you're pushed to the limit to that extent, your bullpen just gets stretched and stretched and stretched. And the Orioles, they got stretched by the Brewers all weekend long. I mean, it was the Brewers series. They put up 11 runs twice on them. And even in that loss yesterday, it was a tactical game all the way that was tight. The Orioles, once again, dipped well into the bullpen to get it across the board with Hudson, Uribe, with Webb, Cano, Colombe, and Kimbrel all getting into the game in that one. So, and all seeing significant amount of time over an inning each. So the Orioles have been getting whipped by the Twins at home for quite some time as well. Twins 13-6 in their last 19 in Baltimore. This Orioles bullpen 3.19 ERA coming into this one. I'm tilting my head because I'm kind of looking at some stats. I'm going to move them over, make it a little easier for me to access them. And of course, I've lost them, but the thing is that the Orioles bullpen, like I said, has been pushed to the limit. The Twins bullpen actually is a 2.13 ERA. And, I just think that Cole Irvin is not really the answer here. The Twins aren't hitting the baseball at all this season, but they are hitting lefties a lot better than they're hitting righties. We all know Cole Irvin is a lot more hittable than a lot of the other pitchers out there. I just think that this one is probably going to come down to the pen. Once again, I think the Twins have a decided edge there with the 2.13 ERA. Even when you go to the home-away splits, the Orioles bullpen is even worse at home with a 4.78 ERA at home. Well, 4.50 for the bullpen, 4.78 team ERA. It balloons when they got home. Meanwhile, the Twins ERA on the road 3.6 and the bullpen at 2.48. I just think the Orioles probably in trouble in what looks to be a competitive game with Irvin and Varland, two guys that I don't trust either of them. So this is the type of game where it's 3-3, 4-4 going into the mid innings.
Yeah, and you look in here, the bullpen's deciding this one. And we look at the Orioles, they've been battered, as you said here, 26 runs they gave up in that 3-game series at home to Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's just, the Orioles, a lot of people's pick to win the World Series this year. World Series aren't won in April. They're won in October. And the thing is that, rarely do we see teams go wire to wire. Normally, this time of year, it is choppy and you kind of go through the process. And you look at some of these top teams, Rangers, the Astros, the Orioles, the Rays, they're all going through it right now. And even the Dodgers, they get a lot of ink like they're this unbeatable team. But, we saw last night they're far from unbeatable. And, if you bet on the Dodgers every single game this season, you've lost money both on the money line and the run line. And, if they go down tonight, it's going to be even really uglier because that minus 400 that you're sitting on with Glass now, that is a big number.
Yeah, and also, too, Bobby Miller out of that rotation, so they're going to go into the minors to pull another starter in, and that's been the situation with these teams, with these hard-throwing pitchers. They're hitting the Tommy John or they're getting elbow element. It sounds to me they just need some velocity management, Mitch. They're going to have to basically kind of ease up on the max output with these pitchers.
We're 15 games into the season, 16 games in, and almost every team has an injured pitcher right now where they are dipping into their minor leagues. You look tonight, Mitchell Parker making his first career start for the Washington Nationals. This is not a guy with big top-end stuff. This is a guy who is a junker of junker, man. This is going to be an interesting game to watch because he's a walker, unfortunately. But the thing is, if he can avoid the walks and stay out of trouble, he's going to give him fits. He's going to give up a very big number against his Dodgers team. But then you also have, some of these other guys, Darius Vines, who we saw last year. Once again, another guy, big swing and miss guy, but once again, trouble with location, as a lot of young pitchers do. You kind of go around the league, and you just a lot of these guys. The Cubs into the minor leagues with Ben Brown going. We're just at that point. Michael Lorenzen's even got a day job, with the Texas Rangers now with the problems that they've had. So you just can go all the way around the league, and a team like the Marlins that has been struggling, they get Cabrera back tonight. So kind of a welcome for them, to get some of their pitching staff back. With Sandy missing the season. Yeah,
that's absolutely right there. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of these young pitchers coming into the league right now and we'll see more and more of them as we go on, because this is what happens with these pitchers. They get ailments, they feel arm fatigue or soreness or issues with elbows with surgeries, and you got to keep an eye on these minor leaguers and these prospects that come up.
Teams are not taking a chance with these big arms because they're big money. You look at that, like the Astros rotation right now, right? Framber Valdez, Justin Verlander, Lance McCullers, and Iraquidi all out. So only one pitcher they have, Javier, is the only major leaguer in the entire starting rotation that they have. The rest of them are all AAA or worse. So, and I think a lot of these teams, we're seeing them, a lot of names already. We're 16 games in, a lot of names that we have not seen in the majors before. The White Sox going with a first-time starter as well today, with Strinsky. You look at the board, we're not even that deep into the rotations here. To have, we have 3 or 4 first-time starters going tonight alone.
Yeah, and tomorrow the Dodger and it's Corbin, and it looks like this Landon Knack from LA, a 26-year-old right-hander, is being called up from OKC. Has 3 starts this year, ERA over 4. Pretty decent numbers in AAA last year, but here's another one. Make his major league debut by tomorrow.
Most of these minor leaguers that they're bringing up are not guys that come in with these stellar minor league stuff either. It's rare. Most of the guys like the guys going today, most of these guys have ERAs in the 5 to 7 range. So these guys, they must see something.
Yeah,
they're just willing to give anything a shot here.
Yeah, usually the first or second call-ups are usually decent quality, but when you get deeper, that's when you got to be careful, right? When teams get into that third or fourth call-up, then they're not really ready, or there's some issues.
Yeah, it just seems that right now pitching is thin across the majors, so going to be bullpens, more and more important. That's really what it all comes down to.
Yeah, and we'll probably see expanded rosters, maybe add more pitchers and maybe more relievers in the game. I don't know. It's interesting to see how this works. Now, Mitch, have you looked at some of the lines for tomorrow's games? Interesting. Pelicans, Lakers. It looks like about a 1. Looks like Warriors moved up to 2.5 on the road tomorrow against Sacramento.
I know that the last 3 games between the Kings and the Warriors have all been 1-point games, but I don't care. I just think the Warriors are going to clean them out. I just have zero to little to no faith in the Sacramento Kings. They played themselves into the play-in and really are every argument as to why they shouldn't have the play-in tournament at all.
That is no doubt. Of course, the Lakers have dominated Actually, except for one game, they won 3 of 4. But in the key games, the Lakers had gotten the better of New Orleans, winning on Sunday. And of course, in that play-in semifinal, they absolutely pounded New Orleans. Cost them some money, right? If you win the final, you win $500,000. Third place team gets $100,000. So it did cost them some money to lose that game to the Lakers, but they got pounded in that one.
Yeah, LeBron James, when he gets to the playoffs, he just has a different gear, and I really don't think that the Pelicans have any kind of playoff experience to combat that. They have obviously a lot of talented players, but there's something about that playoff record and playoff standing, and LeBron James, he's got that big all-time playoff record to do it. I'm trying to find exactly what his numbers are, but they're big. It's a lot of wins and a little losses is what it is.
You look at his history of getting into the finals, right? That's big. Also lines here with the Hawks. Looks like the Bulls going to lay 3 at home against the Hawks, and of course your Heat will be underdogs in that 7-8 game at Philadelphia. You got to think the loser could get by Atlanta or Chicago anyway, but
I think the East once again is a good argument for no play-in as well. 182 and 100 is LeBron James's straight-up record in the NBA playoffs. I don't know. It's tough to bet against that.
Yeah. And your thoughts on the Heat? Actually, really, Miami, Philadelphia. Again, the loser probably going to beat Atlanta or Chicago. I see both of those teams, as you said, both those teams getting in.
This morning I really was leaning Sixers. Jay Briggs actually talked me off the Sixers back onto the Miami Heat. Didn't take much, to prod me onto the Heat, but that's where I'm at. I think that game's a little tougher. They just played last week, and the Heat were winning most of the game, and then in the last 2 minutes the Sixers took over. But Embiid is now dinged up once again, so I don't know how good he's going to be in this one. So without him, it's all Heat.
There's a little wrinkle here in this 7-8 tomorrow because the winner avoids Boston, right? The loser of this game tomorrow on Wednesday between Heat and Sixers will play for the 8 seed. That means the winner there goes to Boston. So theoretically speaking, the loser in that Heat Sixers will probably draw the Celtics in round 1.
I don't think either of these teams fear Boston one bit.
And we want to see Heat Boston. So that would be something.
Yeah, I don't think either. I don't think either of these teams fear the Celtics. I mean, the Heat beat them last year, 4-3, including that 27-point win in Boston in Game 7 as a gigantic underdog. So we'll just be playing some big money line dogs. That's the case.
And I've heard some people mouth out that the Lakers should not win tomorrow because they draw Denver. They'd be better off taking on it would be OKC, right? OKC. What's your thoughts there with the Lakers? I don't know. You're playing with fire here, trying to overthink this thing.
Yeah, you can't. If you're gonna go, you're gonna have to beat the best teams anyway. So it doesn't matter if you beat them in round 1 or or in the finals. It really doesn't matter. There's no slouches. There's no bad teams, especially when you go to the field of to the last 8 teams. There's no bad teams in the NBA playoffs. It's just the regular season has weeded them out. And, the Lakers have had a tremendous amount of solid play against OKC, though, this season. They have owned them.
Yeah, I think the Lakers are probably better off playing Denver in the first round when you're fresh, not having to go through 2 playoff series and seeing them in the Western Conference Final. So. I
mean, they gave Denver all they could handle last time out. And the thing is, I think that, you don't want to get cute with it. You got to win in advance. That's just how it is. Only the Heat get away with that, like they did last year.
I know. I've asked I'll ask you for the first time, Mitch. Of course, with all this attention now to the women's and Caitlin Clark, we got a huge WNBA draft coming up tonight. What do you think? How is this going to impact the betting moving forward in the summer sport? WNBA just going up against baseball.
Clearly, there was some pop. It was super popular there in the women's game, and I don't know. A lot of cappers at our site are talking about covering it this year. So we'll have WNBA picks at the site, and it's going to be interesting to see how our audience receives it. But hopefully we do videos and shows. Maybe we'll have the Jays Women Jam session. I don't know.
Right.
So
That's right. We'll see how that rolls. All right, Mitch here on the Twins tonight against the Orioles here coming up momentarily. All right, Mitch, let's take a look over. Let everybody know what's going on over at Pick Dog Sports Chat Plays heading into the playoffs. Pretty exciting round here. NBA playoffs, NHL as well, starting Saturday.
Yeah, we have, just a lot of great cappers, as I've mentioned, all year so far. More guys on the leaderboard per sport than I think we've ever had. So, jump on with one of these guys. You don't have to necessarily jump on with the guy who's red hot. Jump on a guy who's middle of the pack or a little bit colder. It's called buying low, and you just have to take that leap of faith. But normally, if you buy low with one of our cappers, you catch them on a little bit of a downswing. You're going to hit a hot streak very, very fast, and it is quick and decisive. I know that when people ask me, what capper they should pick, I always pick a guy that's near the bottom because I just think that the upside is there. Our cappers aren't going to go, if they hit 60% of their games, and that's a high to the high side, right? They're not going to go 6-10 every 10. So if they lose, if they go on a 4-16 streak or 5-15 type streak, well, they're just back end loaded on the other side. So just remember that, and it's a long baseball season too. Make sure you look at the cappers and what kind of picks they're making for baseball. I mean, there's all different ways to play it. Just make sure you find something that fits you, because I know, like in the past, people have bought my picks in baseball, and then I'll hit some good winners, and they'll say, "Well, I didn't play those games, because I didn't like them." And it's like, that's my game, is to play that uncomfortable game. So, you have to find the person that fits you. Some people, it's like, I don't want to bet those favorites, all the time. And, those people tend to pick favorites most of the time. So you have to, you can see everybody's record and who they pick. So just, take a quick look through it. It takes 5 minutes.
Yeah, just scroll down to the bottom of the handicapper page. You can see the pick history, and every pick is recorded in Capper's history over at Pick Dogs, and so check it out. All right, Mitch, thanks for coming in today. Have a great afternoon. We'll catch up in a couple days.
Thanks, everyone, and thanks to all of our cappers that join us here on the drive-thru every single day.
Got it. Mitch here on the drive-thru. We'll continue here on the show, guys. We're going to welcome David Racey in a second. But, of course, one of the newest features here on the drive-thru is our chat pick a day. And I want to congratulate the chat because you guys are 5-0 last week. I know our man J-Man was calling out the chat last week. And, man, they came in strong with a 5-0 performance. I think you had the Pelicans on Friday, so to complete a perfect 5-0 sweep of the week. It was impressive, and it was hard to do because we had a lot of NBA, and it was kind of tricky there in the NBA in the final week of the season, of course, and you guys had some of the higher profile games, so you guys hit pretty well, so got a shout out there to the chat. I'm already seeing guys putting in some, you don't even know, we got the picks up there, right? Okay, so here we go. Here's the chat pick of the day for today, and it will be Yankees. Again, I'm going to stick you with a tough game. That's what we did That's what we did all of last week. We stuck you guys with these tough ones, and you guys have been really coming in strong with this chat pick of the day. So here we go. It's the Yankees and the Blue Jays. If you like the Yankees minus 103, it's A. Blue Jays minus 107 is B. Over 8.5 is C. Under 8.5 is D. Get those picks in right now, guys. 5-0 run right now with the chat. The chat's been on a tear. So keep it up. We're split right now, early voting here, 2 on each side, Yankees and Blue Jays. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. Up next will be David Racey. Catch him over at Pick Dogs. Also a featured writer here at Pick Dogs. We'll find out a little bit more about that as we get later into David's segment. Dave, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. I'm just thankful this Pistons season has come to an end. It was a brutal one, and I couldn't believe it. I didn't realize it till just this morning. But the Lions had the same number of wins as the Pistons this year, which is just ridiculous.
Oh, my goodness. That is ridiculous indeed. Yeah, that's rough. Let's hope better time for the Pistons. Let's see if we get the draft. It's going to be tough in the draft. It's not a strong draft. But, there are some pieces there. We saw it, right? Jaden Ivey, some of their starting rotation's good. But you know what? The NBA is, I hate to sound this way, but it's becoming more and more of a bench-driven league because of the limited minutes these starters play now.
Right, yeah, and with the amount of games guys take off, yeah, you're very right there. But yeah, we'll see. This Pistons seems really nowhere close, in my opinion. And even if they get the number 1 pick, they'll mess it up. So we'll just see how it goes and be along for the ride, I guess.
I guess so, no doubt. All right, here we go. Major League Baseball here, top of the hour. Mets and Pirates. We see the Mets $1.18, total coming in at 8.5.
Yeah, this Pittsburgh team has been really exciting to watch this season. They come in with an 11-5 record. They just split a 4-game series with the Phillies. Phillies are a tough team. So Pittsburgh's looking solid to start the season. Offensively, they've been strong. Their pitching staff has been pretty decent. They're going with Martin Perez in this one here today. And Perez has been solid this season. He was pretty decent last season as well. But this season, he's pitched very well. I know he's pitched against 3 teams that haven't been great offensively, but he's still done what he's needed to do. He's looked very strong, and he plays a Mets team here that really hasn't been great. They have been much better since their 0-5 start to this season, but offensively they're not great. So I think Perez can have a decent outing here. New York, when you look at them, 7-8 on the year, like I said, they started 0-5 on the season. They're coming off of a series win against the Royals, which is actually looking like a pretty good win, as the Royals have played above expectations so far this season. And they took 2 or 3 from the Braves. So the Mets are playing decent baseball, but I don't love Adrian Hauser on the mound here for the Mets. I've never liked Hauser really throughout his career. He's a kind of a pitch-to-contact guy, and he's been beaten up a little bit, roughed up. I just think this Pirates offense can get to him here, and I like the Pirates on the road here with the nice or a little bit of plus money.
A little bit of plus money, 110, 109. You guys do your line shopping, get the best number here. Yeah, the Pirates have gotten some offense on the road, and of course, as we talked about, some of these these teams have had struggles. They've been drafting players, getting better, getting a little bit of pitching here. Get a guy like Perez in there with experience, who has been pretty good road underdog the past 2 seasons in this price range. 10-2 team record behind him. But again, is this team strong like the teams that have been behind him in the past?
Yeah, and he has definitely benefited. Like last year, he was with Texas, so he benefited from a very strong lineup. I think his ERA last year was somewhere in the mid-4s, so it wasn't great, but it was serviceable. This year he's at a 1.89 ERA. Like I said, he hasn't played the best teams. Let's see, he's had 3 starts, and he's pitched against Detroit, Washington, and Miami, so certainly hasn't faced a great offensive team yet. But like I said, he's done what he's needed to do, and he plays a Mets team here that, while they have played better recently, I don't fear them really offensively. If you can stay away from making the mistake to Alonso, you can be okay navigating that lineup. But this Pittsburgh team is so excited, and you're right, they've done a good job of drafting, bringing in some really exciting young guys, along with a few veterans, and I'm excited to see what the Pirates can do this year. I think, if the pitching can hold up, I think they could have a solid season.
Yeah, when you start drafting right, you start to get free agents like Perez, my namesake at first base. Looked like he lost a little weight. But anyway, that's way. Listen, you need some speed. You'll be able to have better mobility. It makes a difference now. But yeah, as you said, that will definitely lure some people to play for you. And there we go with David here on the Pirates, plus 110 against the Mets. And this one tonight here at 7 Eastern Time. All right, David, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Cream for tonight's action. Of course, we do have action on the board tonight here from Major League Baseball. It's still 14 games on the board. We'll be having some games starting momentarily. NBA, the play-in round begins tomorrow, and with a couple of games. And, of course, remember, Saturday and Sunday are those NBA Round 1 NBA playoff games as well. Action on the ice is ready to close out the regular season from NHL. Great year in NBA. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I'm sad no NBA today. I've been red hot in the NBA. I think 74% over the last 30 days. So feel free to take a look at that for tomorrow for me. But today I have 2 NHL plays and 3 baseball plays, all packaged up in a 5-pack. I also have them packaged individually a few different ways as well. NHL, it was a solid season for me. I've hit a rough spot here over the last 8 or 9 days, but still positive units on the season. So head on over to Pick Dogs. If you're looking for better value, check out a long-term pass or pair me up with one of these other cappers. But whatever you decide to do, head on over to Pick Dogs Premium and have a good night.
That's right, guys. Got to work with David Racey over at Pick Dogs Premium. See the great results here from David in the NBA. Also showing prop for the year in the NHL. So no better time to get on board with that long-term pass. If you guys want to try them out for 7 days. Remember, the 7-day pass is quite interesting here for 7 days. You guys like doing that on a Monday. That covers the NHL end of regular season. Also, in the start of the NHL playoffs, the games that are on Saturday as well as Sunday. And, of course, all the play-in round games here from the NBA. And, of course, don't forget these round 1 games, game 1s, those 4 on Saturday, those 4 on Sunday are also covered within that 7-day all sports pass. So perfect time to get on board with that 7-day pass. Don't forget all the baseball that's in there. We got big cards coming up this week. As you know, there's always 15, at least 5 days out of the week, you're going to get those 15 game cards. So good time to get on board. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout we'll save you that 15% off. All right, David, it's always great having you on the show. Now, I know over at Pick Dogs, we have contributors who contribute over on the video side, but David contributes on the written side, so we can find your content over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat in written form.
Yep, you just head on over to either site, and right at the top, on the top bar, you just click on free picks. You click on whatever sports you're looking for, and you can get a free pick in just about every single matchup. It's a great place to get some data, get some trends, get some facts, and a free pick. So head on over to Pick Dogs or Sports Chat Place and check it out.
That's right, guys. So check it out. David Racey over at Pick Dog Sports Chat Place. Look for his articles in written form. All right, David, have a great night, rest of the week, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, I appreciate it, Tony. Thank you.
You got David Racey here on the Drive. You can always catch David Racey also on the weekends. He appears on a day, Saturday, Sunday on the weekend show. So make sure you give us a subscribe. So whenever you get David on the weekend shows, be able to tune in and get those picks. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. Before our next capper, let's take a look at the chat pick of the day right now. And we asked you guys to pick here on the Yankees and Blue Jays. If it's the Yankees, it's letter A. -103. Blue Jays is letter B. Over is letter C. Under is letter D. And, of course, the chat has been red hot. Went a perfect 5-0 last week. And they were tough games. They were, as I said, they were really tough games. And right now, it has been Blue Jays with 6-3 for the Yankees. And we got 2 that say go over the total. So far, that's the chat pick of the day. So keep these picks coming in, guys. We'll recap at the end of the show. So we just got another one in here for the Blue Jays. So the Blue Jays pick it up. Our man Deacon comes in with letter B with the Blue Jays. So keep these picks coming into the drive-through. All right, let's continue here on the show. We're going to go ahead and welcome in next up here. I think I want to make sure I got it right here. Okay, yeah, we're going to bring in Brad Francis. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Room. We'll bring Brad in right now. Ready to some more baseball here on the board tonight. We'll have some NHL as well a little later in the show. We have Rod coming in with that, and let's see if we can get in Brad Francis. Brad will also let you know about his video series here at Pick Dogs in Sports Chat. Let's bring him in right now. Brad, what's happening?
Tony T, how we doing today, man?
I'm doing great, doing awesome. All right, I'm going to change the game here. Actually, we're going to change the sport. We last talked to you was we were talking. Well, boy, time flies. It seemed like it was longer than a week ago, but it was just a week ago when we had that Purdue UConn game. Wow, that was
like months ago.
Right?
Crazy.
Yeah, it was a slow-moving week. Because like you said, I thought like you, I thought it was like it feels like it's months ago when we're talking Purdue and that game. But it's pretty funny. But let's see. Let's go ahead and move the change. We'll just move the change and get this game rolling up here. As you're going to be looking at this late-night game here between the Dodgers and, of course, the Washington Nationals. Dodgers, so like I said, this is a big step down in class after facing the Padres. Padres gave a battle here, but the Nationals coming in after facing Oakland. You get a lot of runs to Oakland here. So we see the Dodgers near 400 line here, 376 total coming in here at 8.5.
This is I'm looking at the team total for the Dodgers. It's at 5.5, and I like that at all. I can honestly see them getting double-digit runs in this game. We have Mitchell Parker starting for the Nationals, and this is going to be his first MLB start tonight. And I mean, what a tough start to get your career going here, Dodgers team. You'd think they would have kind of eased him into the league a bit, but that's what it is. But from what I've read up on him, it seems like he's a solid lefty who likes to throw a lot of fastballs, and it looks like we also have some wind facing the outfield as well. So I just think we see the top of this Dodgers lineup have an absolute field day with him. When it comes to the Dodgers, just some trends here. They have scored 6 runs. Or 6 or more straight runs against the Nationals in 6 straight games. And they've also pushed or gone over the run total in 7 of their last 9 games played at Dodger Stadium. And they've also had 5 or more runs in each game played at Dodger Stadium as well this season. So, look, I think this is a great spot for the Dodgers to light up the scoreboard against a rookie pitcher here. And, once the bullpens get activated, I'm not too scared about the Nationals bullpen as well. So I think we see runs all night from the Dodgers. So give me the team total over 5.5.
All right, we got Brad here with the Dodgers team total over 5.5 runs here, and it's like a big difference here going from the Padres to the Nationals bullpen. So that's the key here. We've seen the Nationals kind of regress a little bit. They got hit up in that Oakland game, and it kind of skewed their numbers. So let me see where they're at here in that spot. And of course, let's see here, Nationals. Yeah, Nationals had some struggles there last week against against the Oakland over the weekend. That was a big run production there for the Athletics. Yeah, this is a situation here where the Dodgers got to get back on track, right? It was a loss. They lost the series to the Padres, right?
Yeah, tough game last night against the Padres. The divisional games, it seems like they always kind of step down a bit, but yeah, I mean, if the A's were able to hit off this Nationals bullpen, imagine what this Dodgers lineup is going to do. And if I know I'm not picking a side here, but I think I saw some people taking the Dodgers -2.5 and things like that. I mean, I could see that honestly not being a bad play. I think this is going to be one of the more ugly games tonight. So we'll see how the young pitcher does. Maybe he comes out and shows us something, but this is a tough spot for him.
Yeah, and it does expose the Nationals bullpen. That's the key there, because you don't expect here someone in their first start here to go very, very deep, or maybe not see the lineup more than once, twice at the very most, right? And that may come quick against this Dodger lineup. You could have 6, 7 guys up at the plate per inning, the way the Dodgers can hit.
Yeah, I mean, who knows if this guy even sees the third inning? We'll see.
All right, Brad here on Dodgers team total over 5.5. Tonight, 10 Eastern time. All right, Brad, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, we do have action on the board here for Major League Baseball. Of course, the NBA returns back tomorrow with the play-in round. It's a lot of excitement in the NBA this week and into the weekend. Of course, hockey on the board as well. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Yeah, man, coming off a nice little weekend, nice winning weekend. So I'm trying to keep it going, get some momentum before the NBA playoffs here. So I got a 3-pack tonight in the MLB. First game starts in 5 minutes, so if you're interested in getting action early, definitely hop on as soon as possible. But I actually like today's MLB slot a lot. I thought there was some good spots to take advantage of. So go check that out. But you see the numbers there, a bit good in the NBA all season. We're going to keep that going for the playoffs. So a long-term pass, a week, a month, just to get through the NBA playoffs isn't a bad option as well.
That's right, guys. Got over with Brad Francis over at Pick Dodge Premium. Great results here with Brad in the NBA. Of course, we mentioned in a previous segment, got no better time to get on board with the long-term pass. We're going to try it for 7 days. Get this play-in round, as well as that big card on Saturday, because you got round 1, game 1s, 4 on Saturday, 4 on Sunday, as we all were used to. So that's a good time to try them out. Or again, the 1-month pass will get you into May 14th. We'll be deep in the playoffs by then. Also covering baseball as well as hockey within that time period. Just like when you go to Brad's handicapper page and get signed up. Right, Brad, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you next week, but we can always catch up your work here on the Pick Dogs YouTube channel with your video shorts.
Yeah, man, doing the parlay videos and doing the Nerfy Yerfy videos as well. So do those 2 videos a day, and I've been enjoying them. We've been hitting on the Nerfies and Yerfies at a good rate so far this season. So we'd love you guys to check those out. Like I said, it's every single day. So let's make some money.
Make some money indeed, guys. So make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications, so when Brad drops those Nerfies, Yerfies, you get them right away. All right, Brad, have a great week. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Good luck tonight.
You as well. Brad Francis here on the drive through. We'll continue on here. Jovan up next. Before Jovan, let's update the chat pick of the day. You guys have been on a tear right now in the chat pick of the day, and let's get some updates here on the results. We got a lot more votes coming in here, so let me tally them up here. We got a couple here. We got some more Yankee love coming in here on this last segment here. Let me see on the other side where we sit at. One more Yankee. It's tightened up now, so this segment brought in a lot of Yankee support. Right now, the Blue Jays here are 7, the Yankees 6. We do have 1 under coming in, so 2 on the over, 1 on the under. If you like the Yankees, type A in the chat. If you like Blue Jays, type B in the chat. Over 8.5 is C, under 8.5 is D. And I will tell you right now, the chat has been on fire. The chat went a perfect 5-0 last week in the chat. And it were tough games like this. They were very close. That's what I do here in this on the chat pick days. I make these games very, very, very competitive. And as we speak right now, we got 2 more here on the Blue Jays. So the Blue Jays have pulled up here 9 on the Blue Jays, 6 on the Yankees. Our chat pick of the day, keep those votes coming in, and we will announce the winner at the end of the show. So let's continue here on the drive-through. We'll announce what our chat pick of the day is. Looking to go 6-0 after a strong week last week. All right, now it's time to get into some NHL with Rod Zawacky. You'll catch him over at Pick Dog Schmidt, so bring Rod in right now. He's been always good to us here on the show. I'm sorry, it's not Rod, it's Jovan Burts. So we'll bring Jovan in right now. John, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on, Tony? How are you, man?
I'm doing all right, trying to keep it together here. All right, here we go tonight. Pretty good matchup here. It's Braves and Astros. These teams could meet. Good team them in the postseason. We'll see how it rolls the rest of the year. The Braves short favorites $1.14. We see the total up there at 10.
Yeah, and I'm gonna look at this game a little differently. I'm gonna roll with the Braves team total over. Now, this thing has jumped up to 5.5. This Braves team's been crushing the team totals this year. 10-4, I believe, as far as their team totals go this season. They just keep on hammering the ball, hammering opponents pitching, and they scored 6.7 runs per 9 innings against righties. That jumps up to 7.2 runs per 9 innings, and up and down that lineup, they just have guys that you can't get past. If you're an opposing pitcher. Yesterday, who did it? Marcell Ozuna. Hit a 3-run jack. Saying in the eighth. To mess up that Marlins money that I had. So before that he had hit another jack. So it was just this team, man, they just got it up and down that lineup. Acuna, Ozuna, Albies, these guys, man, they rake. You know what I mean? So, it's just a situation where you're facing the Astros team who did get a couple wins against the Rangers, to be sure. That bullpen did hold up a little bit, but with Spencer Arringhetti on the mound, who gave up 7 earned in his last start, yeah, I expect a drilling, from the Braves, and they should get over this on 5.5. Last time I checked, it was at even money on DraftKings at 5.5. So their bullpen overall isn't good, the Astros. So I expect them to get to 6 runs.
Oh goodness!
At
Yeah, the Astros bullpen has given up 7 home runs this year, and that's been an issue there. Of course, against this lineup, you got to always be careful. One thing here with the Braves, man, is that you keep an eye on them when they're facing those right-handed starters. Man, they've been pounding the ball against righties, averaging over 7 runs a game, hitting .324.
Yeah, absolutely. I said it, 7.2 runs per 9 innings, man. It's just nothing to play with. So, it's one of these things where, they might not score against the starter, a decent starter. But then once they get to these bullpens, I don't know. Listen, they've already had several come from behind victories this season. 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. You know what I mean? So I misspoke. Yesterday's game, it was in the top of the 9th where they made it happen. Where Ozuna hit that 3-run jack. So listen, you got to get 27 outs against these guys, and I don't think the Astros can do it and not give up at least 6 to 7 to 8 runs in this one.
Yeah, and I know Arringhetti's got that was a rough opening day for him at Kansas City, giving up 7 runs in that game. So you got to wonder how this kid's going to handle it. Obviously he's a talented prospect. It was a 6th-round pick, though. I guess it's decent enough. I mean, he's put up some pretty good minor league numbers, although the numbers in AAA kind of ballooned a little bit, but. I guess sometimes they see enough in these prospects as well. You look at the strikeout numbers; they're pretty good. Then I look at the walk numbers, and it's almost 4 walks per 9 innings, and that's what you got to worry about here with this starter here for Houston.
Yeah, just like any prospect that comes into the majors, they're gonna have their growing pains, and if he doesn't have control of his stuff, then it's gonna be a bumpy ride. Especially a guy that that likes to throw, that likes to strike guys out, swing and miss stuff, but doesn't know exactly where the ball is going from pitch to pitch. So that's the problem that these young prospects have, transitioning from AAA to the majors.
Yeah, and it's a unique situation where you give up 7 in KC, and then you get ready for your next start, and you sit with your pitching coach and say, he goes over, okay, here's the Brave scouting report. That's a tough thing for a young guy.
Nightmare scenario.
Yeah, nightmare scenario, no doubt. We saw Brian Bayo. Interesting, because I remember when Bayo broke in, man, he faced back when Toronto was like pounding teams. He faced like Toronto in the first two starts, and he got pounded. He kind of settled in a little bit, but you'll see that once in a while when you just draw the luck of the draw. You just happen to face a lineup that's red hot.
Yeah, absolutely. You've seen it time and time again with these prospects. But they settle in. It might take later in the year, or it might take a couple years. But if they're worth their salt, then no, so they'll get it together in those same lineups that they saw when they first broke into the majors. They're able to dominate. But that's
Yeah.
on a case by case basis.
Yeah, he would have loved to face the Mets or somebody else, like Twins or these teams.
Yeah.
That hit Seattle, go pitch in Seattle. Those are some spots there. You're kind of hoping as a prospect, looking at the schedule, hoping when you're going to get called up. Well, I'd love to get called up when we go into Seattle. But it doesn't
Right.
always work out that way. You're going to catch the Braves. That's a rough
Yeah,
one.
you're gonna catch these heavy hitters.
Yeah.
You're gonna catch these heavy hitters, and nowadays you're seeing less pitchers that throw electric stuff as far as like strikeouts. All these pitcher coaches, they're trying to have these pitchers deviate from throwing fastballs, and they're trying to make them throw breaking stuff. And that's why I think that's the leading cause of the reason why you're seeing so many guys going down with arm injuries. So changing their slot angle or the way they pitch. Trying to throw for spin rate and things like that. So it's just another added layer into why these guys get hit hard. You know what I mean? So
Got to add more tools in the toolbox, man. You just come in fastball, fastball, spin it. You're going to look at issues going down with arm trouble. We're seeing that with these young guys, and that's it. The mile per hour gets in these guys' heads right when they start baseball, right? They're already putting the pitching guns on these young kids, and it's in their head at a young age.
They're trying to throw breaking stuff real hard. You know what I'm saying? And in order to throw the breaking stuff, sliders, curves, what's the other one? This is another one that's just escaping my mind. You have to throw it in a certain way to where it's not natural for your elbow. You know what I mean? So, hey, that's the way the analytics is giving these guys to doing, but it's causing them not career ending injuries, but career setback injuries. That's to be sure.
Yeah, some guys on their second Tommy John, no doubt. All right, Jovan here, Braves team total over 5.5 tonight, 8 Eastern time. All right, Jovan, let's take a look over at Pick Doctor for tonight's action. Of course, baseball on the board. We're getting some big games starting here. At least a dozen remaining here on the board. You can see Jovan enjoying great results here. Matter of fact, the numbers are just improved here. We have a 24-hour clock here. 2,254 units of profit for Jovan over the past 30 days. Has been on an absolute tear right now over at Pick Dodge. You can verify those numbers just by going to Jovan's handicapper page, checking them all out there. Great year in NBA, great year in MLB. He's even got a positive results in NHL. So get on board with Jovan Burts over at Pick Dogs Premium. Hey, this time we're getting, I know you'll look at the playoffs at least there in NHL. So we got a lot going on here. Playoffs begin on Saturday in NHL. The playoffs play-in rounds begin here this week, and then of course the Sunday comes round one of the playoffs. And what do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, you might see me put up my perfect NHL record on the line. This playoffs. If I see a spot, man, where there's money, then I'm gonna have to take advantage. But I got a MLB 3-pack going. All three of those plays are you could get them singularly, on the website, because I got them for sale, as one-offs also. So that's it. No NBA, of course. We'll have that tomorrow on Wednesday for the play-in rounds. I have my Tuesday Western Conference plays already up on the board. I already know what I'm doing with that, so I figured let me put it up early, for the people. Check me out on my 3-day, my 7-day, my 30-day, my yearly. It's been coming along nicely as the years progressed. You see the 30-day numbers, but I'm on the leaderboards. As far as last 24 hours, 7-day, 30-day, and yearly. So just looking to stay in position, basically. Match me with what are the other handicaps for the 2-for-1 capital emotional. You can't go wrong here at Sports Chat placing pick dogs. Let's get it.
Get it indeed, guys. Got both Jovan Burts over at Pick Dodge Premium. You see the great results now, ballooning up to 2,254 units of profit. the last 30 days, showing profit all sports combined here, and all the sports in progress right now: baseball, basketball, hockey. So no better time to get on board with the long-term pass. He has a 3-day, 7-day, 30-day pass. Get on board. Use that promo code PICK. Save that 15% off. All right, Jovan, as always, great having you show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again on Friday, but we always can catch up with you now with your video shorts series.
Yeah, enjoy doing the video shorts, going in less than 60 seconds. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. Not a lot of commentary, just the meat and potatoes, and that's it, the bare bones basically, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's popping off, on most days. Yesterday I didn't put one out because, most of the games, they were afternoon games, including the NBA. So, we like to do that at night so that people could get involved and watch the video shorts. And throughout the day, people tune in. So by the nighttime, you can still put in those parlays if you choose to do so. So I say that to say that yesterday was a lot of afternoon games, so just didn't put one out because there wasn't any nighttime action.
That's right, guys. So get aboard Jovan Burts over at Pick Talk Premium. We got the afternoon action. Catch them on the weekend shows, on the mornings. The afternoons there with Jovan, and then of course we'll get you the night with the shorts. So get on board, guys. Subscribe, set notifications, so when Jovan drops those videos, you get them right away. All right, Jovan, have a great rest of the week. We'll catch up with you again on Friday.
Absolutely. Have a great night. Win, and see you on Friday.
Win and see you on Friday. Jovan Burts here on the Drive Thru. We'll continue here. We'll get to Zawacky in a second. Let's keep an eye on the chat pick of the day. Chat pick of the day, 5-0 last week. We picked every game. There were tough ones. Right now, boy, we have seen it come for Toronto here in this last couple segments, man. Toronto now 12, Yankees 8. So if you like chat pick of the day, if you like the Yankees, -103, it's letter A. Blue Jays is letter B. Over is C. Under is D. And get those chat picks in right now. If you already put in the chat pick of the day, now it's time to put in your show pick of the day. So if you already voted, be sure to get your show pick. But if you haven't voted in this chat pick, get the chat pick in. We're running out of time to get this one in. Chat pick of the day is 5-0, and right now it's looking heavily right now in the favor of the Blue Jays, 12-8 for the Yankees. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. Time for Rod Zawacky. Catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. We'll bring Rod in right now. I think we're set to go with Rod. Rod, what's happening?
Not too much, Tony. Just digging in on this NBA playoffs, seeing who's going where and what and why, and same thing with the NHL. We're getting close to playoff time for both of those sports, so digging in, getting ready to go for round one playoff action.
Yep, we are, and some teams are facing elimination in regulation. I'm starting to see a lot of that. This team can be eliminated in regulation, so there's some situations here where teams got to get some points, and they need it badly. This one's including this one here. Canadians at Red Wings. Red Wings 226, total 6.5.
Yeah, look at this one here, and the Red Wings, basically, they hold their own destiny. They need 3 points to get in. They have a home and home here with Montreal that starts tonight in the first half of the home and home. At home here, they need 3 points. So any way that you can slice 3 points, you got to get the job done. So you look who's getting the start. Alex Lyon's going to get the start for the Red Wings in this one, and he's been the reason why the Red Wings have made some noise. He's slumped a little bit down the stretch, but he's definitely turning around a little, and I think he steps up here in this one. Montembeault getting the start for Montreal in goal. And this Montreal team, you look, the last time these two teams met, Detroit got the win 5-4 in overtime in Montreal. They've had 2 meetings this season, and they split the season series with not the home team being the home cooking. It's been the road team getting the job done in the last 4, actually the last 5 head-to-head. You look, it's been the road team. But in this one, who's got the huge motivation? It's that Detroit team. And as you see, they got the win against the Leafs, which kept their playoff hopes alive. And as I said, they need 3 points, hold their own destiny, get 2 here tonight, pick up 1 anywhere, you can slice it tomorrow, you get yourself in, you punch yourself in that last playoff spot. So we're going to go with Detroit here, take them on the puck line. I think they easily cruise to a 2+ goal win here versus Montreal in this one tonight.
All right, Rod, on the puck line, we'll talk more about this in a little bit, hitting the witching hour here, Rod, so everybody know what's going on over at Pick.com. Rod's been on a tear here over the last 30 days, 406 units of profit. What do you have going on over at Pick Premium?
Yeah, same thing as Jovan. I just ticked up. We're at 631 units over the last 30 days. So been on fire over the last 30 days in MLB, NHL, and the NBA. So definitely jump aboard. something long term for join me for the week. But tonight I've got my 10-star play of the day. It's been on fire. We stopped losing on it. We're now 18-6 the last 24 on it. You can pick it up singly, or it's Monday, so I got my Money Monday 5-pack going this Monday. Love the plays there. We got an NHL hat trick, plus 2 plays on the MLB. So jump aboard. Join me as we start the week. A big winner on Money Monday 5-pack. Use that promo code PICK at checkout. Save 15% off all your purchases over at Big Dogs Premium. Let's continue to crush the books.
That's right, guys. Crush the books indeed with Rod Zawacky over at Pick Dog Premium. That's right. It's a 24-hour clock here, so the numbers have been bumped up here. 631 units of profit. We had a lot of NBA in the day yesterday, so we've seen the numbers coming up here. 631 units of profit here last 3 days. So Rod has been on a tear, guys. Long-term pass, the way to go. I remember that 7-day. You guys love that 7-day pass because we got a lot of playoff action beginning on the weekend, and I know Rod gets those plays in early on Sunday because a lot of times, Rod, you get the Monday in there too.
Definitely. So that week pass is like getting an 8-day pass. So definitely join me for a week. Use that promo code PICK at checkout, and I definitely get those plays in early. So you always get a bonus day with me when you buy out something long term, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day. Definitely jump aboard when you get them in there early. So you get the best of the number. That's why I get them in there early.
Absolutely, guys. I use that promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. Yeah, for Montreal team, they're just pretty much playing out the string, right? They've lost 5 of 6, and of course, ironically, their only game was that wild one as they pounded Philadelphia.
Yeah, in their last how many, right? That was their wild one. They pounded Philadelphia, but everybody at that time was beating Philadelphia. One win. They did take the Islanders to overtime. They did take Ottawa to a shootout, but definitely those games are. I just don't see it here. Detroit at home here in this one. That place is going to be going bananas, as we say. They have a chance that they can make the playoffs, and they own their own destiny. The way this team has been playing, I think they turn things around and they punch their ticket. I think they win both games on the puck line over the next 2 days. But tonight, I think they easily cruise to the win here over Montreal.
It's tough again for these playoff eliminated teams really to have these road trips at the end. It's really just
right. Hey, at least Montreal's not in San Jose or something to try to end the season. That would just be an awful spot to end the season deep out west when you live way out east.
Yeah, yeah.
No spot.
Yeah, the folks say we don't need a playing round in NHL. It's like right now. This is it right here. So get it on board. Rod here on the Red Wings puck line. All right, Rod, do you have any bonus for tonight?
Definitely, I got a bonus tonight. When we got McDavid back, I gave it out in the chat. McDavid should be back tonight in the lineup. So it's going to be Kucherov for Tampa Bay. Both those guys trying to get their 100th assist, and I think they both get it tonight. So do a 2-teamer. Take Kucherov, anytime assist. Take McDavid, anytime assist. I believe somebody had done that number, NHL 508. Thanks for doing that number for me, because I didn't have it right offhand. But it's like a minus 115 for both of those when you do the 2-teamer. Love that tonight. I've seen some articles talking about it. So I think those are one of those almost guaranteed locks of the night. As McDavid gets an assist and Kucherov gets an assist. 2-teamer up if you can same game parlay it. If not, single bet that. Nice pickup there. I also like Michael Bunting of the Pittsburgh Penguins. 255 anytime goal on that. Almost 3 times their money. I love it. Michael Bunting's been hot. He plays on the power play as well for the Penguins. Another team that definitely needs some wins if they want a chance. But Detroit can shut them out. They can shut all those teams out. They can shut out the Flyers. They can shut out Washington. They can shut out the Penguins if they win both these games.
There you go. Rod Zawacky there with your bonus selections. All right, Rod, let everybody know about, of course, it's going to get hot and heavy now. Here's getting to the playoffs on Saturday. Your video series right over at Pick Dogs. Every game on the board. You got another 8-game card tomorrow.
8 games card tomorrow. I even got a 3-team parlay for you tomorrow, so definitely make sure you've liked, subscribed, and you've turned on that notification bell. That way you get notified when those videos get dropped. I've definitely got a nice 3-teamer I love tomorrow. And tomorrow's NHL, so definitely check it out. And definitely check out if you're missing a game tonight. We've got tonight's games archived as well, so definitely go check those out over at Pick Dogs there.
Check them out there. And of course, Rod, you don't need Caitlin Clark in the WNBA for them to bet it, right? You've been betting in WNBA for a while.
I haven't been WNBA for the last couple of years, so I'm ready to go. I just need to know where she's going so I can add them in on the roster. We know how much we did pretty good last year here on the drive-through in the WNBA. Fading the Aces at home. You want to give me 20-something points with the Aces at home? Yeah, we'll fade the Aces at home. They'll win the game, of course. We know they'll win, but not by 20. They have no interest in winning by 20. We made quite a bit of money fading the Aces.
Yeah, and of course there's going to be a lot of. Obviously, the boosters are going to be on Caitlin Clark's team totals, right? That's going to be.
Oh, exactly. So we'll be able to get some value on that. Those numbers will be through the roof, and so we'll be able to take some unders on some of those totals. I'm quite sure. And be able to make some money. I'm excited. WNBA should be good.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of boosts and a lot of people talking about Caitlin Clark's. And here's the situation. He's going to have to hit him, or else you know what happens if she doesn't, right? Some of the bettors out there. He's going to hear it. She's going to hear it.
Well, yeah, they will hear it. They're like, hey, I thought she was amazing. What happened? She's not this amazing player anymore. She can't even get over her point total.
Of course, the WNBA, the question here is, will she have the freedom that she had in Purdue, right? That's the big question mark, and that's going to be interesting to see, because I've listened to some of these WNBA women talk, and they said, they're not. I mean, they spoke, not the extreme folks out there that just go the Looney Tunes out there, but the serious talk. The people with brains are saying, will she have the same freedom with her team to pretty much ball handle and shoot at will that she had in Purdue?
It depends where she goes, right? I'm guessing it depends who picks her up and where she goes.
Oh, Indiana. It'll be Indiana. Yeah.
Ahead of her, that's going to be a number one. I still say she has to work her way into that lineup. It doesn't even matter what team she gets. I don't think she walks in and just takes over.
Yeah.
This is very rare in any sport that you get drafted and all of a sudden you get that professional level and all of a sudden you walk in and take over. It doesn't happen a lot. We've seen a lot of guys come in and not take over.
That 15 to 20.
But in the NBA, she's good.
Yeah.
It depends where she goes. She's going to go to one of those lower rated teams.
That's going to be Indiana.
It's
Indiana Fever, no doubt. Indiana Fever has the number one pick, so I see no reason.
It has and most likely that's where she goes is the Indiana Fever, and so with that you probably build around her, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we picked number one for a reason. We're the worst team in the WNBA. So, Caitlin, here's the ball. You go with it. That's it. And the other players
go with it.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, that's the leverage you have as a bad team, right? That's the leverage you have as a bad team. So, you've got the freedom.
Yeah, exactly. They've got some good good pieces on the Indiana Fever, and then you add her into the mix.
See, we lost.
They definitely can't go any worse than what they did last year. So.
I like to know. We missed the boat tanking for Caitlin. We missed the boat on that last year. Were they tanking for Caitlin?
We all missed the boat on that, yeah. Tanking for Caitlin. We should have realized what was going on. I don't think any team caught the boat on that one.
Yeah.
The Fever, but like, the Fever might try to tell you, be like, oh, we were always taking for Caitlin. What are you talking about?
That's true. No one talks about tanking. I mean, that was the biggest tank job you could do in the women's history, was tanking for Caitlin. Jesus.
Was taking for Caitlin, yeah. I mean, I didn't hear anybody say that at all.
I like that girl from Stanford that the Sparks are going to get. So Sparks got 2 picks coming up here early in the pick. I was thought, man, maybe you could trade your 2 first-rounders for the number 1 pick in the Fever. Oh, no way. Because the Sparks have like the second pick and I think the 5th pick in the draft. So I was wondering maybe the Fever could the Sparks would make some noise. We're going to trade you our 2 early first-round picks for your number 1 pick. I don't think that go over too well in Indiana.
Nah, I don't think that's going to go either. No.
That won't work. All right, Rod. Have a great night, man. We'll catch up with you again here on the show tomorrow.
You as well, Tony. Good luck, everybody, with your bets. Let's crush them. Crush the books. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Tackle the book Tuesday.
I like to indeed. Rod Zawacky here on the drive-through. All right, let's continue on. We're going to wrap up this chat pick of the day, guys. And right now we are going to close it because you guys it got closer a little bit, but right now it didn't get closer. It's 12 here for the it did go close. 12 here for Toronto, 9 for the Yankees. We're closing it up right now. So that is our chat pick of the day will be the Blue Jays here at -107. So the chat is looking to go 6-0 after predicted 5-0 last week. So that was fantastic results from the chat. I know our man J-Man, I haven't seen you in the chat. Maybe I missed you, but he called the chat last Monday and they responded with a perfect 5-0 week. So the B here for the Blue Jays is the chat pick of the day. Now it's time to put your pick, your show pick into the chat and we'll read it off here at the end of the show. All right, let's get to my pick. My pick's going to start late tonight. It's one of those late night West Coast games, and we'll get to it here in a second here. Let's get the game up here. It's Reds and Mariners. We're going to take the Reds here at this price point here at plus 132. And, I've been really, issues with this Mariners. It's never changes, right? They just can't score at home. I mean, they get home and they can't put any runs up. It's an under for them. And if you took the under in the game, I wouldn't question it one bit, but I see plus 132. And I said, that's a good number there for the Reds. I know it's the angle where you got the team from the hitter's park going into the pitcher's park, right? That's always the issue, right? It always messes up the hitter's heads. They hit the fly ball. Oh, it feels like a home run. Oh, it's caught right before the warning track, right? It gets in their heads. Well, I don't know. The Reds, I know, are their 6 road games are putting up 7 runs a game. They're getting good work from their pen. I'm not saying they're going to score 7 runs in Seattle, but the Mariners right now are hitting just $1.93 in their 10 home games this year. And that's the issue I have. It seems that it's always a coin flip at the end of these games with the Mariners at home. Frankie Montas has put up a decent year. 3 starts, ERA 2.16. His WHIP is 1.41. Limits his walks, getting the ground ball. An old Kirby start. Kirby has been hit up a little bit. His ERA is 8. I know the FIP is a little better on Kirby, but he's been hit up a little bit. Is this Kirby? His strikeouts are down to 19%. I'm sure that'll improve over time. But I know the FIP is pretty good there too, right? The FIP is 2.95. That does suggest a drop in ERA based on the form. But again, this is just basically the Mariners' bats and has just not been there. So I can't trust Mariners here laying this based on their hitting lineup, and it always seems to be like a one-run sweat job, coin flip at the end. So give me the Reds here at plus the 132. All right, guys, over at Pick Dogs Premium, got a best bet in baseball. Get on board with that. Also, my long-term pass, 3-7 or 30 All Sports Pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period to select. When you go to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code Pick and Checkout will save you that 15% off. All right, let's go ahead and hit the recap. Mitch on Twins plus 117. We had David on the Pirates plus 110 against the Mets. Brad, Dodgers team total over 5.5 against the Nats. Jovan, Braves team total 5.5 in their game tonight. Rod on the Red Wings puck line here against Canadians. I'll be on the Reds plus 132 against the Mariners. The one I like the most. Boy, I like those team totals on the Braves there with Jovan. There. All right, that's going to do it here for this edition of the Drive-Thru, guys. Now it's time to get your show picks into the chat, and we'll read them off here as we close. That'll do it for this edition here of the Drive-Thru. Make sure you tune in again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring our cappers from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Plays to cover your plays for you in real time. Remember, it always gets started with that morning show. We are live Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time with Mitch, Chris, and Jay. Don't forget the video series here. Mitch's 7 Picks in 5 minutes. His Betting Tools show, his roundtable discussions with the professionals, his short series as well, educating the public. Also, we got the around the league here, NHL with Chris, NBA Jam session with Jay. Also, around the league, NHL A to Z. Rod Zawacky, every game on the board from the NHL, including his best bet. And of course, Jovan with his short series. Brad with his Nerfies Yerfies here from Major League Baseball. Lots of content, guys. Ron Romanelli is an MLB rundown as well. Lots of videos here, guys, on our channel. Make you like, subscribe, set notifications so when we're live with you, we give you the plays in real time. So make sure you check those out. All right, that's going to do it here. Let's go ahead and go over the show picks for today. Michael Morgan likes Arizona moneyline and Boston over tonight. What else do we have here as far as show picks, guys? Get them in right now, and we'll read them off here. David Clamer likes Rangers run line plus 116, and it's an in-game bet. Brewers minus 115. Chris White Thunder has been good to us. He's coming in there. What else do we have here as far as the show picks from the chat today? Looks like we've got them pretty much in already here. Let's see here. Kowser from David Kleiner. Kowser home run plus 575 from David Kleiner with his show pick. Let's see if there's any more show picks, guys. We're getting close to last call here. Orioles run line here. They're pop 12 earlier on in the show. You got that one in early. Okay, last call now, guys. Here, I'm going to have to refresh them here. Last call here for the show picks. And that's going to do it. All right, that'll do it for the show. Brace money line here from Blake. It's show pick from Blake. All right, that's going to do it for the show. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew from tonight. Wait, goodbye, guys. You guys have a great afternoon, evening.